Hello, hello. I am learning as I mature that there is a lesson in just about every single thing. And I recently learned a lesson by surprise. And I would like to share my experience with you. But first, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Yolanda Washington, founder and CEO of Seed Planters Empower Her Alliance, where our mission is to embolden young women from the African diaspora as well as my immediate community to discover their roots as well as their wings by journeying with them to the continent of Africa, which has 54 countries with over 2,000 languages spoken. We guide the young ladies through the passport and visa application process. We pay for it all. We provide the funds required for vaccines. Specifically, our last trip was to Ghana, and the yellow fever vaccine as well as the malaria pills had to be taken prior to travel, during travel, and even after travel. We then journey with them to Africa and engulf ourselves in the culture, which includes us hitting the ground running by visiting a seamstress who takes their measurements and makes an outfit or two of their choosing and their liking. We visit the Makola market, which is a huge, what did I say huge? It's a huge market where we can get fabric among many other things. The fabric they get to select, for the outfits that they've chosen for us to have made. The Makola market is, I said huge 15 times already, right? But it is huge, super crowded, it's chaotic, but it's a must-see. You can purchase anything from fabric, hair supplies, beauty supplies, appliances. Going back, we had to purchase a suitcase, so we picked up a suitcase. I would be surprised if you could purchase livestock at the Makola market. It is bizarre, but it's a must-see. You have to visit the Makola market to see what the experience is all about. You have to walk with purpose, but it's an experience that should be had nonetheless. We visit a local orphanage. Our last visit was to the Motherly Love Orphanage in Accra, Ghana, and we supplied them with needed medical items, sanitary napkins for the young women, wound care cleansers, band-aids, electric thermometers, which takes temperature without actually touching the skin. And last but certainly not least, we shared jump ropes and journals. The journals were to encourage them to write daily. There is a scripture in the Bible that motivated me in all that I'm currently doing and have done in the past, and that is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2, which speaks to writing the vision and making it plain. So, while there we sit in a circle with the young people and chat about their visions and themselves and what they want to do with their futures, as well as now what they're working toward, and just encourage them to dream big dreams. And so that's the purpose of the journals, and the jump ropes are just for them to have fun in their downtime. So we spoke to the piece of the dreams being connected to their purpose. We took time, sat in a circle with them, and talked about purpose and vision and dreaming and writing and goals, and just hearing what the young people wanted to do with their lives was very motivating, encouraging. The mentee that went along with me is an aspiring singer, wonderful, beautiful singer. She sang for them and encouraged them through song. And afterward, you would have thought she was a movie star in Africa. As a sign and a symbol of respect, the young people refer to you as auntie and uncle. Say they wanted to know if Auntie Yolanda would allow them to speak with Serenity, is her name, on their own, and they did, and it was just wonderful to watch them interacting with her and sharing with her, and likewise, in addition to sitting in a circle and talking about our dreams and goals and visions, and sharing ideas on how to get there, we pray together, and those young people know who God is. So we prayed together, and it was such a very unique and beautiful visit that we went a second time just to take snacks and ice cream and sit down and talk some more with them. And there's a young lady who I personally connected with. She's in college and she speaks 5 languages, and I was just so in awe of the beauty of those young people at the orphanage. So that is another one of the things we do, as well as we visit the W.E.B. Du Bois home, which has since been formed into a museum. We learned that W.E.B. Du Bois graduated Harvard in 1895, where he was the first African American to receive a PhD. I enjoyed, being able to walk through his home and viewing his personal library and seeing his graduate regalia hanging back in an encasement from Harvard University, along with many other photos. That visit in particular was very enlightening. It was inspiring, and it instilled an added pride within, because W.E.B. Du Bois, a black man, graduated Harvard, in institutions of higher learning are not easy places for African Americans to maneuver in present day in 2024. So just think about this man who made up his mind to go to Harvard, entered Harvard, was accepted, and graduated as the first African American with his PhD in the year 1895. That is just incredible to me. And to be able to walk through the home and see his items, his personal items, even his curtains, with there are codes in the curtain, and they ask you to guess if you know what it is, and we did, but it was just wonderful to see, to stand up in his library and to learn. I did not know. I knew the name W.E.B. Du Bois, but I had no idea that he was a Harvard graduate, and not only a Harvard graduate, but a Harvard graduate in 1895. So that was a great experience. We also visited the Elmina and Cape Coast Slave Castle. They refer to it as a castle. When you look at it, it is. It's a huge building, a huge castle, right? It's vast. And we traveled through it. We went through the top and worked our way down. The bottom tier is more like a dungeon than a castle. It's where the enslaved people were held prior to being sold into slavery and taking the journey across the Atlantic, which was actually a 3-month-long journey into slavery. And so to be able to walk through that very dark portion of the castle, which is a dungeon, there's no light, of course there's no seating, it's just concrete wall and floor, and they stood shoulder to shoulder in this space, awaiting transport of themselves into slavery. We visit the Cancun National Park and Canopy Walkway, where we walk the rope. There are 7 suspension bridges that are 30 yards above the forest floor, and we hike up. It's quite a hike. My Crocs, I think Serenity had sneakers, but I just remember wearing my black rugged Crocs every day, and when I tell you they carry me through. So it's a steep hike up to get to the top of the Canopy Walkway, and then when you reach the top, you have to cross the 7 suspension bridges to get to the bottom, and we did that, and it was frightening yet fun. There were many tourists taking pictures, and they wanted you to keep moving because of the tourists and the people behind that wanted to experience it by walking across as well. But Serenity and we took our photo opportunities, and we had taken some pictures to capture the moment, because that doesn't happen every day. So it was quite an experience. We also visit a traditional hair braiding salon where the hair is washed, it's oiled, the scalp is massaged, and then it's braided into a style that the young person selects for themselves. I'm reminded of the cost of braids here in New York City, Harlem in particular. For box braids, it's approximately $200 or even more, depending on the style. In Ghana, it's less than $50. And Serenity selected the style beforehand, and we took a picture of it. She showed it to the woman who braided her hair, and she did a beautiful job. I was impressed, as well as Serenity. So that's something else we offer to them. I myself won't be getting my hair braided in Ghana because I'm severely tender-headed, and so it just wouldn't work out. But I enjoyed taking Serenity, who likes to get her hair braided, and the style was beautiful. And it's one of the experiences we afford them, we allow them while we're there. Our last day, it's a week-long stay. Our last day was a beach day, where we take the time to really decompress from all that we absorbed from the week, especially the slave dungeon. So the beach that we visited and will continue to visit is Labadi Beach. It's a very lively beach. There's horseback riding at the beach. There's ATV riding. There's lively music playing. I don't know what to call these young people. They were some young men, and they had a long stick, I guess. Was the day that we went to visit the 2 slave castles. It was emotionally taxing, and we wanted our last full day there to be a fun day, and that's exactly what it was, and what it will continue to be. Quite the experience. We purchased a game. We played games, a game called Awari. I do have the game. This is the case that the Awari game comes in. I purchased it on the beach. It's a popular game in Africa, so I'm gonna open it, and there are beads inside. And I brought it, I played the game, we enjoyed it on the beach. It's a game that's in the US as well, but it's called something else. It's called Awari. I wanted to purchase it and bring it back so that I could teach my granddaughter how to play. And we play often when she visits. I have a grandson as well. He's 5 years old, and when he gets old enough, I'll teach him to play. And not only will I can teach them to play, but I can share stories of a trip to Ghana with them while we play Awari. So that's another one of the things that we did while we were on the beach. Serenity, my mentee, had never ridden a horse, and so she was looking like she wanted to, but I know the look, I'm all too familiar with it, of wanting to do something, but the fear is overshadowing the want and the desire to do the thing, whatever the thing is. And so I encouraged her. We were on the winter break, between Christmas and the New Year, and so I encouraged her by coaxing her and telling her, not only will you be able to share with your friends when you go back to school that you were on the beach in Ghana, West Africa, on the last day of the year, but you were on the beach, you rode a horse on the beach, and it was your first time. So, she rode the horse on the beach. It was a great experience. I took pictures for her, and Mixed Tiles is the place where you can have the pictures transposed onto a frame that sticks to the wall. And for her birthday, when she turned 16, I got some of the pictures that we had taken in Ghana on that mixed tiles frame and gave it to her as a gift, and she absolutely loved it. So we have a wonderful beach day while we are there as well. And you know, we shared stories of our time there, and it was just all the way a wonderful experience. So in addition to all of the fun things that we do while we're away from the distractions of home in the U.S., we go through a semi-rigorous curriculum where we journal every single day. In addition to journaling every day, we go through three what I believe are character building workshops. We tackle self-esteem. We have discussions as well as go through specific scenarios. The second is conflict resolution and how best to deal with conflict resolution. Again, we talk about it. We review specific scenarios and encounters, and we have a discussion based on it. And last but certainly not least is the introduction of your future self, where through us journaling and speaking about what it is we will be doing with our lives, we introduce ourselves as if it's years in the future and the dream that we've had for ourselves is realized. So we're introducing our future selves, talking about what we've accomplished, the work that we've done, the goals that we've set and made, and barriers that we've broken through if need be. And it's just an all-around wonderful experience. So that's what we do and who we are at Seed Planters Empower Her Alliance. Thank you for tuning into my nonprofit journey. I ask you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, which lets you know when a new video has been uploaded. So now on to my lesson. Again, Seed Planters Empower Her Alliance is the name of the nonprofit organization that I am founder and CEO of. We have board members, one of whom is my niece, who's like a daughter to me. Her name is Sharina, and she helps me out so much because I get to have her as an ear, and she encourages me, especially with the passport application process. She helps me to walk through it and ensure that all the documentation is in line. So she's really a wonderful administrator. In addition to my niece, I have 3 other wonderful women who are from my very small, safe circle. I've established, I live in the city, so that's a motorcycle going by, but these wonderful women that have agreed to be a part of the board are women that I have established relationship with over the course of the last 25 or so years. We've talked together, we support each other, and it's just a really great fit. They see blind spots, they share, they do what board members actually do. They help the organization run effectively, and I appreciate every last one of them. There is another young woman who is a cousin of mine. Her mother and her deceased grandmother were like surrogate moms to me when I was growing up. She graduated with her degree in clinical psychology as well as a master's in social work. I could be misrepresenting the degrees, but I know she has dual degrees, and she also has a heart for young people. So I was, I prayed about it, I thought about it, and then I thought how wonderful we would just make her grandmother, like working together to just instill, just be an added light to our generation and be able to leave a legacy of work and love and make her grandmother, my godmother, proud of the work we were doing, because it's both our heart's work. She had been on my mind to approach and ask if she would be a board member, so I prayed about it. And the more I thought about it and prayed about it, I just knew she would be beneficial and be a great addition to the work that we're involved in. So I gave her a call to tell her about what we do and asked her to give consideration to joining the board. I asked her not to make a decision at that moment. I asked her to take her time and think about it, pray about it, and so that she wouldn't be making a decision in haste. I asked if we could meet the following week to have brunch, at a restaurant that she chose in her area. So we met up the next week and got caught up on work and life and all that's going on. And she was very transparent in sharing her response with me. She shared that she wished she had more experience on being a part of a board, and also that she did work for a nonprofit organization, and it was a very toxic experience for her. It's not the first time that I heard this type of statement. A woman, Stephanie Perry, that I follow on YouTube, she's a professional house sitter. She is a kindred spirit of mine, and I enjoy watching her every Saturday at 10 a.m. and sharing her stories. But one of her videos she made specifically at the end of 2023 was things that we're not going to do in 2024. And one of the things she specifically spoke to was, we're not going to start nonprofit businesses. And it made me laugh because I was in the middle of starting Seed Planters Empower Her Alliance. It had taken a great deal of time, almost 2 years, for the paperwork to actually go through. And in the time that I'm sitting and I'm waiting for that paperwork to go through, I watched her video and I was very close to just not forming the nonprofit. But in that time, the paperwork came through. And I know what my dream has been. I know what has been waking me up at night. I know what has been holding on to my thoughts. So, it's everything in me told me I should do it. But just watching that video had me second guess it for a little bit. And so, it was kind of disheartening to hear from my cousin Jay what her experience was working for a nonprofit, about it being toxic. But again, I say it is not the first time that I heard it. I also know that there's a lot of hard work that happens behind the scenes within organizations, to present a finished product, and with that hard work, you have to roll up your sleeves and be ready. It's not about play. You have to really, really work hard, and I get that, and I know that, but I believe that there's a way for that to happen without it being a toxic experience for people who are a part of your organization. So I'll say we will not be that. But again, she was very transparent. I'm thankful that she was transparent in all that she shared and what her experiences were. So the bottom line is, she wasn't jumping through hoops to come and join us, and that's okay. But what she did say to me and offer up on the ride, back home, was that she asked if there is anything that she could do to help out. Even though she didn't want to be a part of the board, she did offer her help and her support. And I don't want to, feel like I'm pressuring anyone into anything ever. So I asked her, I posed the question if there were anything that she could do to support, and anyway, if there were positions specifically that she could choose, that she could create herself and curate, what would it be? And her answer was proposal writer. And today I am clutching my pearls, because that's what I did when she gave me her answer. I have on pearls today because I went to a friend's homegoing service. But yeah, clutching my pearls, because that's what I did on the day she shared that with me, because of all the things that I need. I have a very effective and efficient board. One thing that we can use and we stand in need of is a proposal writer. So, that was my lesson in being flexible. I learned a lesson, and that's to be flexible, to keep my mind open, to keep my heart open, stay prayerfully connected, and be ready to receive. Jay has done proposal writing before. At her last job in her position, she was very effective at it, and she was open to doing it. So, I got a surprise plus addition. She's not on the board, but she's on the team, which is phenomenal to me. I went in thinking one thing and left with a whole nother thought and excitement of someone whose services I can seriously use. The board, again, that I have, they are wonderful. They're very effective. They're efficient. They offer up wonderful solutions. And I'm excited to continue to serve with them. And happy to be able to share with you. So thank you for watching and being a part. Again, thank you for being a part of my nonprofit journey, and have a wonderful day.